and welcome back to the deep dive. It is so wonderful to have you here with us.
It really is.
And before we jump into our topic today, I just want to take a moment to speak directly to you.
Hmm.
We know that learning a new language, especially English, is a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely.
It takes so much mental energy, it takes courage, and, sometimes it just feels exhausting.
It really does.
But I want you to remember something important. The fact that you are here, that you're listening to this, that means you've already done the hardest part. You showed up.
That is such an important message to start with. Language learning is heavy lifting for the brain.
It is.
And we often forget to, you know, give ourselves credit for the effort. It's not about being smart. It's about persistence.
That persistence. And kind of ironically, that leads us perfectly into our topic for today.
It really does.
Today, we are exploring a set of sources focused on a very specific challenge: mastering the art of intentional time management.
And I know what people are thinking when they hear that phrase.
Oh, me too. They hear time management and they just groan. They think about spreadsheets and waking up at 4 a.m.
Right. That whole hustle culture nightmare.
Exactly.
But the sources we've gathered today are actually arguing for the exact opposite. This is not about being busier.
Not at all.
It isn't about stress. It's about being smart with the time you already have so you can learn English or do anything else without burning out.
I love that. No stress, just strategy. So to guide us through this, we're going to focus on a few key target words from the texts.
Okay.
These are like keys that unlock the whole system. So for everyone listening, keep your ears open for words like intentional, pocket time,
Drama thieves.
sustainable.
These are great concepts. If you can get your head around these 4 ideas, you really understand the whole philosophy of the sources.
Okay, so let's start with that first one, which is right there in the title, intentional. The source talks about intentional time management. Now, intentional is a bit of a buzzword these days, but what does it actually mean for, a language learner?
At its simplest level, being intentional means doing something on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite of being passive or reactive.
Okay, so on purpose. But I feel like most of us think we're doing things on purpose, right? Like, I intend to go to work. I intend to eat lunch.
Right. But the source makes a really interesting distinction here. It's the difference between just doing a task
Right.
and choosing an experience.
Mm.
It gives a great example that I think everyone can relate to: cooking dinner.
Ah, the daily chore. Okay, lay it out for us.
So imagine scenario A. You are cooking dinner, you're chopping vegetables, boiling water, stirring a pot. You're physically doing the work, but where is your mind?
If it's me, my mind is thinking about an email I forgot to send. Or I'm just, staring at the wall waiting for the water to boil.
Exactly, just getting through it.
Yeah.
That is unintentional time. The time passes, the job gets done, but the time itself is sort of a loss.
Yeah.
It's just gone. Now, scenario B. You are doing the exact same physical thing, chopping the same carrots, but you made one small, specific choice before you started.
Which is?
You put on headphones and hit play on a 10-minute English podcast.
Ah, okay, I see where this is going. So in scenario B, I didn't change my schedule at all. I didn't have to find extra time. I'm still just cooking.
Precisely. You didn't add hours to your day. You added value to your hours. The source calls this turning a time loss into a meaningful investment.
And the only difference was the intention. You decided on purpose to combine those things.
That's it.
It sounds so simple when you say it, but I feel like there's a mental block there. We often feel like if we aren't sitting at a desk with a textbook, it doesn't count.
Oh, that's a huge misconception. And the source argues that this kind of intentional learning is actually one of the most effective ways to learn, but there's a trap.
The trash.
Even if you want to be intentional, you can fail if you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our second target word: vague.
Vague. V-A-G-U-E. Which means like unclear or hazy, right? Like trying to see through fog.
Exactly. And the source identifies vague goals as the #1 reason people fail to manage their time.
Can you give us an example? Because
Right.
I think I might be guilty of this.
Well, the classic example from the text is the phrase, I want to improve my English.
Ouch. Yeah. I think every single person listening has said that. I want to improve my English. It sounds like a good goal.
It's a wonderful ambition, but it's a terrible plan.
Why? Why is it so bad?
The problem is that it provides no map. Imagine you have 10 free minutes. If your goal is improve English, your brain just freezes. It's too big.
Right. Do I read? Do I listen? Do I study grammar? Do I do flashcards?
And you get that feeling of decision fatigue, don't you?
Yeah.
You spend so much energy trying to decide what to do that you end up doing nothing.
Yes. You get paralyzed. So what's the solution?
The source suggests that to be truly intentional, you have to replace vague goals with micro-specific plans.
Micro-specific. Okay, that sounds very precise. What does it look like?
Well, instead of improve English, the source suggests saying, I will learn 3 new words while I eat breakfast.
3 words during breakfast. Okay, that's extremely different.
Notice the difference. It tells you what to do, 3 words, when to do it at breakfast, and how long it will take.
And it feels easy. Improve English feels like climbing a mountain. 3 words feels like, well, just eating toast.
That is the psychological magic.
Yeah.
The source explains that these small, clear plans, they reduce stress. Your brain looks at 3 words and says, oh, I can win this. I can do this.
And because it feels easy, you actually follow through. You do it.
Follow through is the key. It's so much better to actually do a small thing than to just dream about a big thing.
100%.
And this idea of small things leads us directly to my favorite concept in this entire deep dive.
Oh.
It's our 3rd target word, pocket time.
Pocket time. I really like the sound of that. It's like time you can just keep in your pocket.
That's a great way to think of it. Pocket time refers to those small, empty moments that exist in everyone's day, no matter how busy you think you are. The gaps.
The source listed a few of these, and I was just nodding my head the whole time. What were some of the examples?
Things like waiting for the coffee machine to brew,
Yep, do that every day.
standing at a bus stop, sitting in your car for 5 minutes because you arrived early for an appointment.
Waiting in line at the grocery store, all those in-between moments.
Right. And usually we think of them as wasted time, don't we? Annoying moments.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
But the source asks us to look at these pockets differently. It introduces something called the math of learning.
Okay, careful now. We promised our listeners this wouldn't get too complicated.
I promise it's very simple math,
Yeah.
but it's kind of mind-blowing. Let's say you find just 4 pockets in your day. Just 4.
4 pockets. Seems realistic. Coffee, the bus, the line at the store, and maybe waiting for dinner to cook.
Perfect. Now imagine you use each of those pockets to do just 5 minutes of English.
5.
Reviewing words on your phone, listening to a bit of audio, that adds up to 20 minutes a day.
20 minutes a day? That doesn't sound like much. It sounds very manageable.
But here's the math. 20 minutes a day, every day,
Yeah.
is 140 minutes a week.
That's nearly 2.5 hours of focused study time every single week,
Wow.
when you put it that way. 2.5 hours. If I tried to find a block of 2.5 hours in my schedule, I would tell you it's impossible.
Exactly. If you try to find a big block of time, you can't. But if you just harvest the pocket time, that is already there.
You suddenly have hours of learning available. You're not changing your life. You're just using the empty spaces.
You got it.
That is incredibly empowering. It takes the excuse of, I don't have time, away, but in a really nice way.
Right. It means you do have time. You just haven't been seeing it.
You've been throwing it away. But
Yeah.
there's a villain in this story, isn't there? There's a reason we don't naturally use this pocket time. The source calls them the time thieves.
Yes. The time thieves. It sounds dramatic, but it's a very, very real problem.
So who are these thieves? Are they other people interrupting us?
Sometimes. But the biggest thief, according to the source, it's usually right there in your hand, your smartphone.
I knew you were going to say that. But wait, didn't we just say we could use the phone to learn during pocket time?
Yes, and that is the tricky part. The phone is a tool, but it is also a trap. The source specifically talks about the just 1 minute trap.
Oh, I know this one all too well. I'll just check the news for 1 minute, or I'll just look at one message.
And then what happens?
Then I look up and 20 minutes have passed, and I am watching a video of a cat jumping into a box.
That is the theft. Exactly. The source explains that apps are designed to steal your attention. When you intend to use a 5-minute pocket, the time thief can easily turn that into 30 minutes of wasted scrolling.
It's not just the time that's lost, is it? The source mentions something about focus.
Yes, this is a concept called switching costs. When you quickly check social media, you're not just losing time, you're scattering your brain.
It takes energy to pull your focus back.
So much energy. So if you check your phone 10 times in an hour, you're constantly breaking your brain's focus. You end up feeling exhausted, even if you didn't do any hard work.
That explains so much. I often feel dizzy and tired, but when I look back at what I actually accomplished, it's nothing. I was just letting the time thieves beat me up.
So how do we defend ourselves? The source gives us some weapons to fight back.
Please, give us the weapons. We need them.
The first one is physical separation. It sounds almost too simple, but it works.
What do you mean?
If you're doing a task like cooking or studying, put the phone in another room.
Just get it away from you. If I can't reach it, I can't check it.
Out of sight, out of mind. The second weapon is using a timer. This is really powerful for those pocket time moments.
How does that work?
Let's say you have 15 minutes before a meeting. You want to study. You set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes. And you tell yourself, I will focus for just 10 minutes, and I will not switch tasks until that alarm rings.
Oh, I like that. It creates a kind of safe container. You're not saying forever, you're just saying for 10 minutes.
And the source emphasizes a key principle here: quality over quantity. 10 minutes of high-focus study is worth more than an hour of distracted, half-hearted study.
That is so reassuring. I would much rather work hard for 10 minutes and then be free than suffer for an hour while checking messages.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Be intentional, avoid vague goals, use pocket time, fight the time thieves. But I have one last question, and I think it's the most important one.
Okay.
How do we keep this up? I feel like I can do this for maybe 3 days, and then I'll get tired and just quit.
That is the fear, isn't it? And that brings us to our final target word: sustainable.
Sustainable, meaning able to continue for a long time without burning out.
Right. And the source argues that to make learning sustainable, you need two things: routine and rest.
Okay, let's talk about routine first. How do we make this automatic?
The best way is to attach the learning to a habit you already have. This is sometimes called habit stacking.
Like the cooking example we talked about.
Exactly. Or brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth every morning and night. You don't have to debate with yourself, should I brush my teeth today? You just do it.
It's automatic.
So if you make a rule, I listen to English while I brush my teeth, it becomes automatic too. You stop using willpower. It just becomes part of your life.
That makes so much sense. Save the willpower for the really hard stuff.
Exactly.
But what about the second part? Rest. I have to admit, when I'm resting, I often feel guilty, like I should be studying.
And this is where the source is very firm, and I love this part. It says, rest is not wasted time.
Can you say that again? I think we all need to hear that.
Rest is not wasted time. But, and this is a big but, there's a difference between numbing and resting.
Ooh, okay, that's a subtle difference. What's numbing?
Numbing is what happens when you scroll on your phone for an hour because you're tired. Your brain is still processing information. You're seeing lights, reading headlines. You aren't recharging.
You're just zoning out.
Right. And when you finish, you usually feel more tired, not less.
That is so true. I never feel refreshed after an hour on social media. I feel drained.
That's a time thief disguised as rest. Real rest, according to the source, restores your energy. Taking a walk, getting enough sleep, talking with a friend, even watching a favorite movie just for joy.
So you're telling me watching a funny movie on Friday night is actually good for my English learning?
Yes, because it recharges your battery. If you never recharge, you will burn out. And if you burn out, you quit. So real rest is a necessary part of the strategy.
Well, I am officially giving myself permission to rest this weekend.
You should.
This has been so helpful. Let's do a quick recap of our target words just to make sure they stick.
Sure. First, Be intentional. Don't just let time pass. Choose how to use it.
Right. Turn cooking time into learning time. Second, no vague goals. Don't say improve.
Say 3 words at breakfast.
Yeah.
Third, find your pocket time. Those 5-minute gaps are worth hours of learning.
Fourth, watch out for time thieves, especially that just 1 minute phone trap. Use a timer.
And finally, make it sustainable. Build habits and remember that real rest is fuel for your brain.
That is a perfect summary. And for everyone listening, I want to leave you with one final thought. Please do not try to do all of this
No,
tomorrow.
please don't. That is the opposite of sustainable.
Just pick one thing. Maybe just look for one pocket of time tomorrow. Just one. Prove to yourself that it's there.
That's the best way to start. Small steps.
Before we go, here's a provocative thought for you to chew on. We talked about time thieves stealing your time. But what if you tracked your time for just one day? Really tracked it. How much time would you find that you didn't know you had?
It's usually shocking. You have more time than you think.
You really do. Thank you so much for listening. You're doing the work, you are showing up, and that is what matters. Be kind to yourself, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.
Goodbye, everyone. Happy learning.